Let's just go into this actually, because I think this is something we both have a little bit of experience actually using at this point. Because you, on your other podcast, you actually had a whole episode where you were talking with someone about using AI to actually, create a better environment for your customers when, set up your businesses and stuff like that. And for that, I believe you said you used an AI to help come up with some of the questions you were asking them, and
Yep.
AI was doing actually a really good job at it.
Yep. Yeah, so we can feed in videos and content from our guests that come on the podcast, and based on what we feed in, the AI says, okay, here's a bio, here's some things you can send out to promote. Here's your tweets, here's your Instagram, your LinkedIn post. Here's a list of 20 questions to talk about when they're on the show. And then once you record the show, you run that through it, and it creates automatically a letter to the guest. Hey, thanks, James, so much for coming on. Your quote was really awesome. Our audience really got a lot out of it. Here's some things that you can use for your social media. And all of this is happening with very little human interaction from us. And so once you start using it and you start to see the benefits, man, it's hard to go back.
Well, it's kind of funny because
Even
it.
even coaching calls, James. I've got AI note takers in the coaching calls that help me. They help me make sure that I'm following the good coaching, rules and regulations, and not talking too much, and that we're staying on the right topics. And then it breaks down what we talked about. It breaks down the action items and the questions and the dates and all the different things. So when I'm done, used to there was a good hour of just reviewing notes and kind of going through and trying to put back what I wanted to cover between or on the next appointment. Now, a lot of that stuff that with very little editing, it's right in there based just AI doing it 90% of it.
I didn't realize you were doing so much with AI. I'll be honest. I
Yeah,
knew you were doing
well, and
some. I didn't know you were doing all that.
then you help us cut up. I mean, Opus, that's an AI. It just
Yeah.
cuts up the videos and creates shorts on the fly and all those sorts of things.
And so, like,
I
anyone.
had to do a PowerPoint on the fly the other day, and I used Chat GPT to get me the outline that we needed to talk about. I I used another program to feed into that what I needed to feed into. Used another Slides.ai to create a Google Slides presentation, and it created the background. It did the whole thing. I just had to go in there and tweak the layout just a tiny bit because I was under pressure. It was like, hey, can you do this? And I hardly ever say no. You know that. So I was like, well, I'll figure it out.
I mean, and it's funny because if anyone's seeing this, it's like as a short or as a TikTok or anything like that, it's probably actually done by an AI called Opus, which actually takes the segments. And the good part about it is, even the ones that I cut up myself, I still use the AI to help pick out those moments that I can then go in and cut up. Because for the most part, it does a decent job, but it doesn't have timing down 100%. So I kind of go in there and fix some of the problems with it, but it still does a great job at finding moments instead of me having to sit there and scan through a hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long video. It will just pick out like 30 moments of that video and say, here are what we think are the best. And I have to say, for the most part, besides maybe a few exceptions, it does a decent job. I can pull about maybe 10 shorts out of it and post them with ease, which makes it just a lot easier. Because I mean, before it would take almost an hour to get everything set up and get captioning on the, get captioning set up and all that stuff. But now, I mean, in an hour, I can get like 10 of them. So,
Yeah. Well, and on the ones you use for meetings, if you're like, I don't know if AI is going to pick the moments of gold that I want to pull out of this or not. A lot of them now have it where you can tag the part of the video that, okay, this is one I want, and so you just click it as a key moment, and it automatically pulls out the video and the audio from that moment.
here's the thing then. Are you scared of AI?
Well, the man, I'm stuttering here. The correct answer is a little bit, yeah, it does scare me a little bit, because even with the advent of smartphones, I feel like we're all getting dumber. We don't have to think about things anymore. Even the old thing of you at the bar with sports trivia, having arguments and things, but
Oh, yeah.
at least you were trying to be forced to practice recall and to bring these things back, and now it's just here's the answer. So even just things as simple as that, I already thought we were getting dumber, and now, man, the key is figuring out a way to not degrade human intelligence and combine it with artificial intelligence to become really a superpower.
So
but the
you're on the whole Elon
danger,
Musk's train of thought then.
yeah, yeah, I am. The danger is that just using AI is so daggone easy,
Yeah.
and most people are going to take the
Well,
easy way out.
I'll say the bigger danger. 'Cause I know a lot of people are talking about the dangers of it destroying creativity, right? Of course, it can create pictures that are just absolutely amazing. On my gaming channel, I've literally had some AIs tweak some of the thumbnails and stuff like that for me before, and try a couple of different things like that. It's amazing what it can do. Of course, it can write scripts, and there's even some AIs now that can actually edit videos for you as well, like do like full cuts and everything. They're still rudimentary, but they're definitely getting better and better, obviously, as time goes on. I remember it was only like a few months ago AIs couldn't do hands, and now they're having no problem doing even more complex stuff than that. But I really am not so scared about it ruining creativity, because the way I look at it is AIs can only replicate what's already been done. So if you're actually creative and you're actually doing new things, then I don't think it's going to ever really replace you. I think it will destroy probably the middle talented people. People are kind of just your average talent that are currently making up a large portion of roles, and of course Hollywood and everything like that. But when it comes to the truly unique, the truly gifted, the truly creative people, I don't see it ever replacing them, because those kind of people will go on and create things never before seen, which the AI simply cannot. It can only recreate what's already been done and base what it's doing off that.
So
So,
what you're saying is the dumbing down of everyone else is going to make it easier for the stars to shine bright.
and actually that's what I was about to really get to, because the one thing I do fear about AI to a certain degree is when it gets to stuff for, like, especially when it comes to young men, stuff like AI pornography, when that starts kicking off. I mean, there's already in its infancy at this point, but the old joke is almost every new technology comes about because of pornography, just because it is, really is one of the most addicting things out there. And so if people, if you can get a way to improve that, you'll make a ton of money, right? Just a ton of money. So they're going crazy with trying to get that off the ground at this point. And you're telling me if a young man has the choice of going out in the world, working hard and having to struggle, and having to engage with multiple women and getting shot down again and again and again until he finally meets one that actually works out, versus having the perfect AI woman with them at all times in virtual reality or whatever that might exist at this point, what are they really going to choose? That is kind of scary at this point. However, the benefit is, for those of us who are disciplined enough to avoid that sort of stuff, it makes it even, it weeds out a lot of the competition that would have been in our way prior to that.
So I think we said this one time before, but what you're really saying is we're about to find out what those three seashells were for.
Yes.